In June 2025, the United States Government Accountability Office, or GAO, released a major report to congressional committees titled Weapons Systems Annual Assessment. As made clear by the document's title, it's an annual report to Congress assessing various Department of Defense programs. The section on the VC-25B, often referred to as the new Air Force One, revealed a lot about the current state of the program and why it's been so delayed. We take a look at the information in today's video. Found on page 87 of the report, the first thing that stands out after the introduction blurb is the timeline. While the media does a decent job of discussing revised/pushed back completion dates, it's interesting to see just how far back this goes. According to this document, the VC-25B Presidential Aircraft Recapitalization Program started all the way back in August 2012. Moving along the timeline, we see that development start took place in September 2016, and this was followed by a critical design review in January 2020. Modification work began the following month, February 2020. No other huge milestones have been met, but we can see that operational testing is now expected to be in September 2028, with initial capability in December 2029. This last bit may be a little out of date, as it was reported in early May 2025 that Boeing had proposed delivering at least one of the new aircraft in 2027. The information was said to have come from a US Air Force official. In the next section, we can see how total acquisition costs have changed over time. Including research and development and procurement costs, the first full estimate was pinned at $6.263 billion in December 2018. This was adjusted to $6.410 billion in August 2023 and $6.154 billion in August 2024. This is what the total acquisition cost of the US Air Force's T-7A Red Hawk program looks like. As you can see, the designers of the graphs display development costs in dark blue and procurement costs in white. As you can see, or barely see, the procurement cost for the VC-25B, a tiny fraction of total acquisition cost, greatly dwarfed by development expenditures. And then, for this section, we can see the change in cycle time, the length of the program. The initial estimate was 136 months, or 11 years. This was revised to 173 months, or a little under 14.5 years, and it now stands at 208 months, or 17.3 years. According to the GAO, cycle time is defined as the number of months between program start and the planned or actual achievement of initial operational capability or an equivalent fielding date. The following page is where we really get into the details of the program and, unfortunately, all of its issues. This section begins by stating, ongoing design issues, modification rework, and workforce challenges slowed the VC-25B's progress toward modifying two Boeing 747-8 aircraft into presidential aircraft. It goes on by saying that Boeing has shifted its focus from implementing new modifications to clearing the rework backlog and completing existing designs. At the same time, Boeing has yet to resolve 4 schedule risks flagged by the government. These include issues related to decompression and the environmental control system that contribute to excess noise in the aircraft cabin, wiring design, hiring and retaining qualified mechanics due to ongoing market conditions. On this note, the report states that approval rates for mechanics to acquire necessary clearances remain a workforce limitation. And finally, the fourth point has to do with plans for testing. Moving further into the report, the GAO says that the VC-25B program has not implemented leading product development practices that could have helped it to deliver such a complex product with speed. Program officials said that the program has specific performance parameters that cannot be modified, and so iterative development was not possible. These same program officials reported that VC-25B had no requirement for digital engineering for virtualization or creation of a digital twin at the start of development. They said it was not cost-effective to test a system-level prototype because the program is integrating mature technology into 2 commercial aircraft. The GAO doesn't seem to buy it and writes that the adoption of modern tools and methods could help ensure the system works as intended throughout operations. It adds that such tools could have also helped to increase future agility so that the system remains relevant and effective. The last part of the VC-25B section further explains the reason for delays. In February 2024, Boeing provided a revised schedule to the program office that projected a delay of 2.5 years in aircraft delivery, from May 2027 to December 2029. Program officials state that the revised schedule incorporates risk related to finishing design and aircraft modification and provides detail up to first flight. These same program officials state that unplanned aircraft maintenance could negatively affect aircraft material availability, adding that some maintenance tasks were not included in the original contract and will have to be completed before first flight of the first aircraft. As reported a few years ago, there were also stress corrosion cracks on the 747-8 airframes, which Boeing discovered in 2019. Repairs of VC-25B cracks on certain support structures were expected to be completed by summer 2023, but are still ongoing. Officials state that inspections will continue for the life of the aircraft and that the program is still evaluating the effect of additional inspections required by the Federal Aviation Administration. And so that's the current state of the VC-25B program as detailed by the Government Accountability Office. It's incredible that the initial estimate for this entire program was 11 years, but it now stands at 17.3 years. Yes, the pandemic and resulting supply chain issues have had an impact on the timeline. However, one also has to wonder if performing such incredibly complex modifications on already built airframes was a major factor as well, and if building the pair of VC-25Bs from the ground up would have been more straightforward. After all, the program includes structural modifications, electrical power upgrades, a mission communication system, military avionics, executive interiors, and other systems. As detailed by the U.S. Air Force Life Cycle Management Center, the first phase of aircraft modification involved cutting out large skin and structure areas in both the forward and aft lower lobes of the aircraft, and then installing two newly manufactured super panels. The super panels contain structural upgrades and cutouts for the VC-25B lower lobe doors, including internal air stairs for mission requirements. Program officials have previously noted that wiring delays have contributed to modification rework and affected timely completion of other work on the aircraft. In case you didn't already know, the VC-25Bs will come from Boeing 747-8I airframes that were originally ordered by now-defunct Russian airline Transaero. The airline filed for bankruptcy in 2015 before it could take delivery of the jumbo jets. It was in spring 2019 that the aircraft made their ferry flights to the Boeing modification facility in Texas to begin pre-modification preparations. This included removing the parts of the 747s, including commercial interiors, engines, auxiliary power units, and numerous secondary system components. But what do you think of the current state of the VC-25B program? Let us know by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. Visit simpleflying.com.